Hello, everybody, and I'm Kavita Chapman, and I'm going to spend a little bit of time with you today talking about human rights. And so you're a member of staff, you've got human rights, I've got human rights, we all have got human rights. We're going to look at 5 principles today and try to help you understand when you come to work every day, you are upholding the human rights of others along with yourself. So let's start with the first principle, and that's about fairness. And fairness, as we know, is giving somebody else the opportunity to say their opinion, to communicate, to be listened to, for you to weigh it up, and helping people understand your decision making. And so in fairness, if you think about an organization, it's about how do we behave with each other in a way that we uphold each other's fairness, because we are making decisions based on the person and what they need. And really, fairness, if you think about it, is person-centered. And in the NHS, we say we give person-centered care. So fairness is at the center of all care. Now let's move to respect. And when we think about respect sometimes we think about it as demonstrating fairness. So it's almost a verb, it's almost an action of demonstrating fairness. And respect is all about considering people's beliefs, people's property, people's rights, people's values. And before taking any action or decisions, we consider these things. And some of the ways in which you and I demonstrate respect is the way in which we behave with each other and patients, both patients and staff at work. So the kind of inclusive communication, the person-centered information. If you look around in your organization, you might see different signs helping people to understand where things are, how you uphold their rights, how you uphold their information, how you look after them. All these things is about showing respect to others, and we do it every day in the NHS. Now, the third human rights principle here is about equality. And I want you to remember 4 words. Equality is about access. And so this comes from a case law back in 2008, Brown versus the Post Office. So when we think about equality, we think if it's about access, how do we give other people, patients and staff, access to the things they need? So how do we give patients access to good care, good waiting times, good quality care, good quality support, good quality materials? How do we give our staff members access to the tools they need to do their job? So equality is about giving access to people. And in your organization, if you know about issues around access from patients and staff, we usually listen to these issues and then deal with the access issue. So equality is all about access. And you can imagine when we do person-centered care, fairness, and then we demonstrate respect by listening to them and understanding, we are already interweaving a lot of human rights principles here. Now we move to dignity. And when you think about dignity, you think about our fundamental worth as human beings. Dignity is the core of us. And sometimes some people at work may say key words that I want you to pay attention to. So they may say things like, I feel humiliated, or I feel ashamed, or this is embarrassing. And really what they're signaling is this might be a dignity issue for them, whether it's patients or staff members. And it's how do we listen? How do we respect and be fair and give person-centered information and care, because we want to uphold their dignity. And you know that the word dignity and respect goes hand in hand, because in the way people feel respected, it kind of upholds their dignity. And then the final human rights principle we're going to talk about today is autonomy. And autonomy is how do we give people enough information about the choices they have so that they can navigate their work life or their life as a patient in the NHS. How do we do that well? How do we give clear, sufficient, relevant information so that people have the opportunity to participate in their own decision making? So how do we do it with staff to help them understand the policies and the practices? so they can make decisions on how they work, and equally, how do we do that for our patients? And so in thinking about all these principles together, fairness, respect, equality, dignity, and autonomy, you can immediately see how you add value to people's lives, both patients and staff. So if you're listening today, I want you to talk about these human rights principles and how you behave, because if we all do it, it's a reminder that everyone is upholding each other's human rights. And as humans, we should be proud of that. So this is just a small kind of snip of a video just to remind you about some of the values we have in the NHS and how we behave when we come to work. So thank you for listening, and see you in another training session. Thanks.